Hello everybody and welcome to another video of R&R Partners. My name is Ruxandra. I am a lawyer, member of the Bucharest Bar Association. With over 10 years of experience, I am also managing partner of R&R Partners law firm. I have my PhD in law and I also teach commercial law seminars to the law students here in Bucharest. But enough about me, let's talk about the topic for today, which is getting Romanian citizenship, and we try to update the procedure and everything that we talk about in this video for 2026. Because yes, we have many other videos on our channel regarding Romanian citizenship. I will try to leave a link somewhere here in a card, and you can go after watching this video and look at all of other content on Romanian citizenship. Unfortunately, laws do change and things need to get up to date, including our own content. One of the most recent changes that happened, and actually my colleague Remus made a video on this, is the law of citizenship in Romania actually being changed, so being amended in 2025. We made a video on the legal amendments and we are still trying to figure out, because there are some procedures that the public authorities are still trying to get updated, and we will see from practice how it goes. But let's get again back to the subject of the video, Romanian citizenship updated for 2026. Firstly, who can apply for Romanian citizenship? So basically the Romanian passport. Because yes, many people are dreaming about the passport, which is the end goal, but before that we need to actually get you the citizenship, the legal status. So who can apply? Firstly, people who are born from at least one Romanian parent. So if one of your parents was Romanian and the other one is from the US, for example, yes, you have the right to Romanian citizenship. Even if you were born abroad, so you don't have to be born here in Romania. Just to bore you a little bit with technical details, in Romania we have what we call jus sanguinii, the law of the blood we call it. We don't have jus loci, which is the law of the territory. For example, the US, because I mentioned the US, they offer this, right? So if you are born on US soil, you become automatically a US citizen. In Romania, unfortunately, if you are born on Romanian soil, but your parents are not Romanian, so for example, if a family from the UK stays in Romania, they have a baby here, the baby will not become Romanian. But if a Romanian couple gets their baby delivered abroad in another country, it doesn't matter, it can be EU or non-EU, that baby will be Romanian, but of course the parents need to do an extra procedure, which is called transcription, right? So it's not enough for you to be born from Romanian parents, but you need to take this extra step. Either your parents or you yourself can do this later. Speaking of Romanian citizenships, we at R&R Partners help clients with this kind of procedure. You can either leave us a comment down in the video and we will contact you, or I will leave some details here on the screen, and also you'll find all the details in our video description if you want to reach out to us, because we've had many clients reaching out for this kind of procedure, and we've had many successful stories. Because there are a lot of people out there who are eligible for Romanian citizenship. I was mentioning declaring a baby a bit late, the transcription procedure. This is the fastest and I think nicest to say so procedure of getting the Romanian passport, because just if your parents were Romanian, at least one of them, then you have the right to get Romanian citizenship. Even if they failed to declare you, you are like declaring yourself as a late baby, to say so, through this transcription procedure. We also have a video on transcription on our channel. I will not try to get a lot into the details, but the transcription is done at the city hall and we as lawyers can do it for you. So even if you are abroad, you don't want to come to Romania anytime soon, we can do that for you. And the nice thing is, because you are like declaring yourself as a late baby, even if you are over 18, so if your parents want to do it for you and you are a minor, then you don't need to speak Romanian. Nobody cares. This is not a procedure where language skills are needed, because we have another procedure. So who can apply for Romanian citizenship? Not only people who are born from at least one Romanian parent, but also people who have Romanian ancestry. And here it gets a little bit more tricky. If you look up this procedure online, you will find it as Article 10 or Article 11 from the Romanian citizenship law. In short, Article 10 is for people who left the Romanian territory according to their will, right? So they were not made to leave, while Article 11 is for the territories that were lost by Romania. For example, you had a grandparent who was born in Chișinău, right? The Republic of Moldova. Nowadays, it used to be Bessarabia, part of Romania. And unfortunately, we lost this territory because of the wars. As you know, this area like Eastern Europe, the Balkans, it has been under a lot of wars. We lost territories, we regained territories, but in the end, there are still some places like Bessarabia, part of the Ukraine, even part of Bulgaria, so the south of Dobroja, that we as Romanians lost. But guess what? If you have an ancestor that was born in that territory and they were indeed Romanian, then we can use them for your own citizenship claim. And here is the nice part. For Article 10, so people who lost it according to their will, for example, your grandparents left Romania and went to Canada for a nicer life, you can only apply up to the second degree. But if you have a great-grandparent who was born in Bessarabia, so a territory that Romania lost without its will and they were basically forced not to have Romanian citizenship anymore, we can go back to third degree. So this is a great advantage. And again, I don't want to get so much into details because we have other videos in our playlist on Romanian citizenship, but there is also a difficult position when it comes to people who are born in territories who were lost by Romanians or were actually not part of Romania when the people were born there. Many people reach out to us about the territory of Transylvania, for example, Brașov or Timișoara. If you have a grandparent, for example, who was born there, but at the moment of their birth, that territory was not Romania because, yes, Transylvania was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire for quite a lot of time and it only became Romanian in 1918. So an example, your grandmother was born in 1911 in Transylvania in Brașov. If we don't have other proof that she later regained her Romanian citizenship, and in many cases, like we have great stories of people finding passports for their grandparents or other information like stuff from school, from work, things that we can use to show that yes, they were Romanian during their lifetime. So in conclusion, if we have this proof, yes, it's great, but if we don't have it and they were born on the territory that was not Romanian at that moment, so just Hungary, at most we can help you with the archival research and you can get the proof for your grandparents and you can maybe later use it for your Hungarian citizenship. That's also an option. Let's get back a little bit, like who can apply for Romanian citizenship? I mentioned people who have Romanian ancestors and I got just a little bit into the details of Article 10 and 11 and the differences between them. By the way, if you have a more complicated case, feel free to book a legal consultation with us. That's the way we can actually get into the details of your case, your family, check the papers if you have any, or at least the information that you already have, and actually assess if you have rights for claim for Romanian citizenship, or if you don't, or if we can refer you, for example, a Hungarian lawyer and can try that route for you. There are always options. Not to mention that we have people who end up coming to us for Romanian citizenship, but they later change their mind and maybe they want residency because they are from the US or Canada or Japan, not so much, but it is also one of the countries. If you come from those countries, if you open a Romanian company, you can get Romanian residency. So you can travel in Europe using that EU residency. And it's really nice instead of waiting years and years for your Romanian citizenship. So again, if you want more details and you want us to explore with you your options, a legal consultation is the best way to go. And I mentioned people who are born from Romanian parents, people who have Romanian ancestry, but what about other kinds of people like who stayed in Romania for quite a while and they also have claim for Romanian citizenship. That's called naturalization. We have a specific video on naturalization on our channel. I think my colleague Remus mentioned it, so I will not get into too much detail, but just a little bit. So if you come to Romania and you live here legally, what does that mean? That, of course, you're not an illegal immigrant, but the idea is that you must have Romanian residency. That's how we consider that you have a legal stay in Romania. So you must get your temporary residency permit and later your permanent residency. And if you stay for quite a while in Romania, so 8 years generally speaking, or 5 years in certain conditions, for example, if your husband or your wife is Romanian, or there's another condition in the new law showing that if you are from the EU and if you have done things that help the Romanian culture and the Romanian society, you can again go down to 5 years. The law is not very clear, so again we will need to assess from case to case if you qualify for the 8 years or the 5 years, the shorter term. What happens after all those years? So as I said, you must have Romanian residency, so temporary residency back to back. This is the most important condition. If you have a gap of even a few days or God forbid weeks or months, we had many cases like this, like clients coming to us like, yeah, I applied, but they took so long to take my file and everything else. No, your stay will not be considered as continuous, and there are certain situations where we can argue and use the residency even if it's not continuous, for example during the COVID pandemic, but those are exceptions. The rule is that each residency must come after the other. So when you come for Romanian residency, make sure you make your file for the next year in time. And another thing, always for Romanian citizenship by naturalization, you must have permanent residency before applying for citizenship. This is again a condition that used to be in the past, but according to the new law from 2025, it is set in stone, it is very clear, you need permanent residency, and again, this can delay your citizenship file for a bit because, for example, if you have a Romanian husband and you want to apply for citizenship, right? You come to us and you say, yeah, I've had 5 years of residency in Romania, my residency permits are back to back, all is good. What happens next is that we tell you, yeah, that's wonderful, but we need to apply also for permanent residency for you, and in practice it takes quite a few months, so you will need to be a little bit more patient. After you get permanent residency, then yes, we can help you with the naturalization file for citizenship. And speaking of naturalization, there's another thing you should know. For Romanian naturalization, you must pass a test, right? We also have an ebook on Amazon on this specific test. I will try to leave the link somewhere here in the video description, or you can just go to Amazon and Google Romanian citizenship test or something like that. Our book will pop up. I think it's the only book on this topic, and not to brag, but it's a really good book. Why? Because it has all the questions and all the answers for the Romanian citizenship test, and it's good for beginners, but also for people who are closer to the end in that process, so they speak Romanian quite well. Why? Because the questions and the answers are both in Romanian and English language, so you can use it also to practice your Romanian for a bit. The questions are from 4 different topics, so we have Romanian history, geography, we have culture, and also Romanian citizenship, so you'll need to know the Romanian citizenship as well. And the questions can be quite difficult. Like, I like to joke with clients that if many people were, Romanian citizens were made to take this test tomorrow, I think many of them would not pass it, because people need to know things like who was Grigore Oreche, people that we learn about from in school basically. And if you don't have it, like you're not passionate about Romanian history or Romanian geography, not to mention the Romanian constitution, you might find many of those questions to be quite difficult, so make sure to prepare for this test, because it would be quite a shame to spend all this time in Romania and comply with all the legal conditions and not pass the citizenship test. So, who can apply for Romanian citizenship? I mentioned from the beginning people who are born from at least one Romanian parent. Then I mentioned Romanian citizenship by ancestry, so if you have Romanian ancestors, and also Romanian naturalizations. All those procedures are still valid, but the conditions have changed just a bit. As I said, you can check out our other videos on this topic, or if you want to reach out to us, it would be very useful so we can make a proper assessment of your file and see if we can help you further with your Romanian citizenship. And of course, getting the EU passport in the end, because everybody wants it. It's great to have a European citizenship, and this can be very helpful in your travels or in your life, not to mention of passing it down to your future or current children. This can be a really nice gift for you to them. This is about it today about Romanian citizenship, and up until next time, I wish you a lovely day. Bye bye.